Okay, so now we are talking about how to write numbers. Before we go through the reason of or how we write numbers in a proper way, we need to understand what is the purpose of writing numbers. We write numbers so that we can make the quantity easy for the reader to understand. So when I write a number, I should do my best to make the number easy to understand, to not confuse the reader, that the reader doesn't put any effort or a lot of effort to understand the value of the number, and to not distract him, because we'll see some cases that the numbers would be very distracting. For examples, I'll give you some examples of numbers that are not written in a proper way, and then we will see how to write it in a proper way. If I tell you that the mass of something heavy is this, what would you think about this number? So first, it would take you some time to figure out if this is 1 million or 14 million or 140 million, because you have a lot of digits here. So what you would do is you will count the number of digits from the right. So you have, this is first 3, then second 3. So this is 14,087,153 grams. Then we will now understand the number after we wrote it. Then you would need, or you need to convert this into something or a number in a proper units. So you have to put this in kilograms or tons instead of gram, because 14 million grams is very weird number. So it's better to say 14 tons instead of saying 14 million grams. So all of these are processes that you are doing just to understand the value of the number, because it's not written in a proper way. Let's say you went to somewhere with your friends, and you were buying something that you split the cost among yourself, and then you calculated it and found that the share of each one is 153.846153846 reals. Okay. So when you look at this number, it's meaningless, or it's not meaningless. There are a lot of numbers that don't have any meaning. First, you have a lot of decimal places, that don't make any sense. So if you write 0.84 or 846 or 85, it's gonna be enough. Besides that, you don't pay this amount of money, and there is no this fraction of money that you can pay. You just pay the second decimal place. The third decimal place is meaningless in this case. From this, we can understand that the numbers can be written in a more proper way, to make it easy for us to understand and to make sense, because some numbers, as we see here, don't make any sense. I don't care about all what is after the second decimal place. So to write numbers properly, there are a couple of things that we can or some things that we have to keep in mind. There are some different number formats. By number formats, we say we mean that you can, if you want, if there is some important reason to put the whole number as it is to write the number with 1,000 commas, comma separators. So you put a comma after each 3 digits. So in this case, you understand it's 14 million. Because the commas make it easy for you to understand how many digits you have. You can put it in more proper units, as I told you. You can put it in 14 tons. As 14 tons, you can now understand it in a better number, or in a better way. You can use what we call the scientific format. The scientific format is writing the number, but taking into account the first 1 or 2 digits, and then put the rest as power. So it's 14 times 10 power 6. So this gives you a feeling of the value of the number, if it's 14 million, 1 million, 14,000, whatever. So you look at this power, and this power will give you an information about how it's written. Sometimes it's written this way, or written as E. This E is represents the times 10 power 6. Times 10 power this number after this. There is one other thing that we can do regarding writing the numbers besides the number formats, is what we call the significant figures. The significant figures means that how many decimal places that we need to write. So let's go back to the examples that we mentioned. There should be some letters in red, but they are not in red, so it's a mistake that I made. But I was trying to highlight this. So let me do this myself. So I was trying to highlight this part of the number, and let's say these parts of the number. Okay, so is this part that we see here, does it really make any sense? Is it important to write the number including these decimal places? And actually the answer is not. These numbers are not adding any important value to the number. Okay, so this is what we call the significant figure. So if you write the numbers as it's written below, you are not losing anything. However, you are making the number easy to understand. The value of these numbers is very, very small, or the numbers that we omitted is very small, that it doesn't affect the value of the number. So here we have 2 decimal place, what we call the 2 significant figures. Here we have 3 decimal place, what we call the 3 significant figures. Okay, so these are all things that we need to keep in mind. Just one demonstration just to show you why the significant figures are important, or that we are not losing something significant by limiting ourselves to 2 or 3 significant letters. Let's look at this number. The number that we have is 21,455 kilograms. Okay, so what we have here is a representation of the quantity of each one of the digits. So this is the 2, which is 20,000. So this is a very big part, the left part here. I want to just stop the pointer. Sorry. Right. So here we have the 20,000. You see it's big, very big. And then you have 1,000, which is smaller. It's still significant, but it's smaller. And the 400, it's smaller. It's less significant, but it has some significance. And we have this 55. So if you compare these two, to this whole part of the number, you'd see that these two are very, very small, and their effect is very negligible. So writing them would cause more distraction than adding value to the number. So when we write the number as 21,400, it's not a very big difference than writing this as 21,455. So if you express it this way, then you are making it easy to read, and then you are not losing anything. So when we write the number as 2.14 times 10 power 4, as we write it here, then this is not losing any value from the number, any significant value from the number. So these are very, very small compared to the big part of the number. So this is why the significant figures are important. Writing the value is important, but you need to make sure that the value is not distracting. So by this I will end this chapter, and inshallah next video we will start talking about the next chapter, which is the mole fractions, mass fractions, and the rest of the things. So I'll see you the next time, inshallah. Goodbye.